So a pretty big war going on in sub-Saharan Africa. Obviously, the Ashanti attacking the Nigerians is a big deal, but then the French joined in. And they do have their musketeers, which is a pretty big deal. So we might see them maybe squeeze in and grab a colony or two, which will obviously upset the Ashanti quite a lot. It really depends on how much Napoleon steals away here. The problem is that he will not be... I don't think he's going to be here in time. Yep, he tried, but the Ashanti will definitely take this city, and that will probably be enough to actually lock him out. Unless, I mean, he could try to navigate through the Vandals. There's no way the Vandals are giving him open borders. This is kind of a big deal because if the Ashanti grab all of these cities, then they're going to be a major power, and more than likely in the future, in the near future, the Ashanti will go after Napoleon and wipe him out. But we'll see. Napoleon still has an opportunity of taking out the Vandals, maybe Carthage. Someone out of North Africa needs to start to consolidate it. I don't know how or who it would be, but somebody needs to do it. And it probably seems like it's most likely going to be France. Is someone going to swoop in on the city or what? I think the Swedish are technically at war with the... Wait a second. If Sweden takes this over, there's no way. Sweden is technically at war with the Umayyad. Technically. And they technically have a scout right there. I don't know if they can embark 3 tiles right now. It's turn 222. There's no way. But because this turn is taking a little bit longer to process for them, it makes me think that the AI is sort of calculating that decision. There's no way. The city has 0 health though, which means that even a scout with, 0.5 health could still take that over if this city has 0 health. Either way, the Babylonians have pretty much saved the Umayyad, whether they wanted to or not, because they're moving through this territory. Hey, they are somewhat close, but they didn't decide to do it. Yeah, they can only move 2 tiles at a time, so that was part of the problem. Chola and the Huns. Chola and Indonesia. Indonesia might have an opportunity of taking over this city. Remember, the Chola also have a city out this way. Oh, we knew about that. Oh, Korea took this city from Chola. That's what happened. It's a big move for Korea, because that's pretty much forced them to play this game. Remember, Japan has kind of locked them off from colonizing Australia for the most part, because obviously they're not going to give up open borders to each other. Shanghai's still alive. That is interesting, though. The Huns Korea is now in the colonization game, technically. Boom, no big surprise there. The Ashanti took back the Songhai capital from Nigeria, which is going to force France to move around. Oh, he can't move through Mali. That will be the problem. Well, maybe France would declare war on the Ashanti. I didn't think about that. The Ashanti are behind in technology. No, not really. Not really. And I don't even know if this would be enough units for France to do that much damage. We'll see what they decide to do. The Ashanti are going to have to lose a lot of units for them to try something like that. Yeah, they'd have to lose quite a bit. The Pope was at war with the Umayyad, but they had nothing over there, so that was kind of part of the whole thing. That looks like I think the Nigerians will stay alive. Interesting. France declaring war on Sweden. A lot of people declaring war on Sweden. There is no immediate border, so they're safe. Both of them are safe. Maratha and the Russians, nothing big there. The Ottomans have pieced out the Umayyads, so they have survived for now. Oh, the Sumer now trying their own attack over the Umayyad. Lots and lots of conflicts. That makes sense because I think there's still 53 civs left in this campaign. I think 53. So that is pretty interesting. Hungary and Korea have pieced out. We discussed the possibility of a Swedish-Finnish war. Looks like it's somewhat unlikely now that there's an open borders agreement between the two. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of somewhat unlikely, probably very unlikely. Finland with another settler. And an open borders agreement could be big. Ooh, okay, so this is where Sweden becomes OP Sweden. And there's no way they're going to become OP Sweden. This is where Austria becomes OP Austria. This is where, yeah. This is where Austria becomes awesome Austria, because they're going to take Berlin. They're going to have a tough time if they try to travel across the Baltic Sea. Look at this. Who would have guessed? Who would have guessed in this campaign that we'd see civs like Sweden and Austria fight for pretty much European control? Because at this point, that's what we're seeing right now. I don't think Sweden is going to fall here. I think Austria is just going to gain a lot of territory. France is kind of normal to see. Whoa! All right, this is big. If the British can take over France here, which is likely because the French are distracted in Africa. The French are completely distracted in Africa. There's no way they can get those units back. Actually, yes, they can move through Austrian territory. We're going to see a mass migration of, first of all, French units, but if the British can take over Paris fast enough, I don't think it's going to happen. You know what? And this might end up backfiring. The Congo have declared war on France. Oh, they're going to have to make a choice here. They'll probably defend their capital more than anything. This is really interesting. I don't know how the Congo got randomly this city here with all these units. They must have open borders with somebody. Ooh, that is interesting. That's interesting. Anyways, the next Nigerian city will probably fall as Nigeria brings in a little bit of reinforcements. That probably will not be enough though. So Europe just breaking out into pretty much a continental war at 1570 AD. And the French, if anything, look like they actually traveled more towards Africa to defend themselves from the Congo than to defend themselves from the British. Again, the British taking over Paris here is going to solidify their holding over continental Europe. Do we see any more settlers from Queen Victoria? No, not yet. The Pope's still moving around the North Sea. So we might be seeing Newfoundland, British. Newfoundland, Great Britain. Chukchi's still not settling. We've got the Shanu and the Japanese over here now. Is that all we're seeing in the Pacific? And will we see more Japanese settlers over here? See, Japan has a perfect opportunity. No one's going to take out Japan. This is literally in Japan's favor. Not literally. That's probably not the right term. I use literally too much, and I hate it. But this is really. I mean, no one is going to be able to stop Japan if they just went crazy with settlers. So the ball is in their court. This is it. And Tibet is still surviving somehow. Between all these civs, they survived the attack between the strongest civ in the game, the Shanu. Then they fought a wombo combo war between Maurya and Siamese. Just give them the win. Tibet needs the win. That's just what needs to happen. That's it. Game over. Tibet wins. Tibet is Florence now. Tibet is the new Florence. Okay, so this Persian settler, and I think we have another one at least. Yeah, there's the other one. We will be probably going for the colonization of more, maybe the Papua New Guinea island. I can't see anyone settling Australia anytime soon, not with all this land out here. There's pretty much going to be colonization throughout the entire campaign. I think Australia and New Zealand will be some of the last things settled. Maybe not New Zealand, because New Zealand is at least less deserty. Lots of grassland. We will see. But yeah, 3 colonial starts so far, 1570 AD. Let's see here. When did Columbus sail the ocean blue? 1492? Yes, right there, right? 1492. So, yeah, I mean, we're starting to see colonization happen in a realistic manner, a realistic time period somewhat. And we started seeing it in the kind of 15th century, 1400s. So this has been so far pretty historical in terms of colonization. Let's just minus the fact that Kazakhstan and the Chukchi are involved in the colonization. I mean, Japan, too, is kind of reaching, but it could have happened. Kazakhstan's out of nowhere. Shanu not as crazy either. Actually, if you think about the Chukchi, I don't know much about this, is it wrong to say tribe here? About these natives, but that actually seems very likely that they would have probably discovered Alaska. They probably did. I think that, I know the whole, glacier thing, frozen over, people traveled, migrated over. Anyways, lots of golds that, of course, the AI does not use. AI is really bad at golds. Let's hope for in Civ 6 we see better management of golds, because the AI just doesn't use it at this point. Yep, the British are going to go for a tundra city. Maybe not. They might not. But it looks like it. I know they discovered the East Coast. They could find the 13 colonies. It wouldn't be the 13 colonies. We'll call it the one city or something. The one colony. They could technically find the 13 colonies, but we'll see. Did the Ashanti finally have... They still don't have deep sea sailing, which might be a good thing for the world, since the Ashanti are starting to grow in strength. They might be the biggest power. They'll be very late in the game to the colonization, but we'll see. How's France doing? They're taking on the Congo, and they're in a really difficult spot right now. We might see the Vandals join in, but the Vandals still kind of sandwiched in between all this. How's Austria doing? Austria beginning their siege of Berlin very soon. We might see the Goths join in. Maybe Finland if Sweden loses enough. Oh, Russia. Russia got open borders with Finland, which means that these units can come straight across and attack Krakow. My favorite city ever. I'll let you guess why. Anyways, can't wait to see where the Pope is going to go. Really want to see where the Pope's going to go. Let's go ahead and check. I know that we kind of confirmed that most of these civs that were traveling along this sea range were probably not going to colonize the New World. Yeah, so there's one of the Finnish settlers. And here's the other one. Yeah, so they're not going for the New Worlds. They are strictly going for northern Asian territory. Okay, so the Shanu just settled here, which is interesting. Oh, the Kazakhstan's also coming. We knew about that one, though. That is interesting, also because it might force the Japanese into a war with the Shanu. Shanghai staying alive, just barely, but they're going to get this rifleman to attack. Oh, yeah, it's over now. Boop, boop, and then bammo. Chukchi grabs Shanghai. Now, does this really change the Korean situation? Not really. Not really. It's still going to be very, very hard to take over, like, Pyongyang and the other Korean cities. It's still going to be very difficult, especially because the Chukchi just are not naval powerhouses at this point. So there it goes. The Siamese might have a good opportunity of squeezing in and taking this city away at the last second. Either way, it's very likely that we're going to see a Chukchi-Siamese border. The Siamese are involved in a lot of conflicts. If you ask me, too many conflicts. That's not good. I want to see a powerful Siam, but he's kind of a part of too many conflicts. He wants to kind of mess that up. If you ask me, it looks like he's going to maybe mess it up a little bit. Was there another Congo settler? I thought there was. Congo being very nice to Arabia, leaving them alone like that. Not being nice to Greece, though. They'll take that city over. Babylon, that's for the New World, baby. That is, we know. Babylon was one of the first people to get a scout to the New World, so that more than likely is going for a colony out there. I'm guessing North America. We saw that they were discovering they traveled through the Caribbean. Yeah, he's long gone now. That was quite a long time ago. The Sumer are over here too. That was a while ago, so he's probably long gone. Or unless I'm blind, I could be blind. Spain and Benin have given Nigeria a peace deal. Doesn't matter. The Ashanti are going to be doing most of the damage at this point. I'm guessing. Ooh, are we going to see... There's no pop... Wait, that's turn... No, we just saw a pop-up. Interesting. Actually, we saw a moment like this in the last campaign. We'll give it some time. We'll give it some time to see if it catches back up. If not, then that's okay. Yeah, it's turn 225. 1575 AD. Lots of colonization. And I guess I am going to be forced to end it a little bit early here. So we will come back in the next one and continue to see who colonizes. Actually, you know what? Japan just settled. I can see from the minimap. I can see from the minimap here. And, oh yeah, Britain did settle Newfoundland. They did, that's such a terrible spot. Either way, okay, so I'm going to stop right there. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you guys next time.